Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about the renewals of Xavi Hernandez and Lamine Yamal, then speak on the central defensive midfield position, because Xavi Hernandez is making a decision right now and he believes that Christensen should be one of the options to play in the CDM role and right next to Frankie de Jong to give Oriol Romeu a break, because we know that Oriol Romeu is currently headed towards starting in every game and playing in every match, but there must be rotation, other options, and so that is what we are going to be talking about in today's video. If you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. I'm happy that you guys are here. If you guys do want to support this YouTube channel, subscribe to the channel and also like this video. I would really appreciate it. So let's first talk about the renewals. And it says here, according to Mundo, that Lamine Yamal will sign a contract renewal for 3 years, which is the maximum for his age. But his agent Jorge Hernandez and Barcelona gave already an agreement that when he turns 18 years old in 2025, he'll sign an extension for 5 more seasons until 2030, meaning that he is currently looking at 7 more years at Barcelona minimum, and in 7 years he'll still only be 23 years old. Yes, that is true, my friends. He's 16 years old, and in 7 years he will be 23. He will not even be older than me at the moment. I'm 25, and so yes, he is that young. It's just crazy to think about how much time Lamine Yamal could spend at Barcelona if he is fully committed at staying here forever for the rest of his career. I think that he has the capability to be at Barcelona if he devotes himself to this club and stay here until 2042 when he's 35 years old. 2042 is a long time from now, and by 2042 I'll be 44, almost in my mid-40s. But looking at his current level and at his age, it is fully deserved. I think that we have to bet on this player if we want a generational talent in this club. Lamine Yamal has to be it. Now remember, let's not put too much pressure on him. Let's not expect to have Lamine Yamal deliver us a Champions League in this season or in the next season or within these next 4 to 5 years. Let's continue to nurture this player, grow this player, have him being taught by the best coaches in the world, and then we'll see what happens when he turns 20 years old. Everything that goes on within these next 3 to 4 years, it's only about development and protecting the player, making sure that he does not feel the pressure from the media or anybody in Barcelona. Moving on towards Xavi Hernandez, it says here, according to Mundo again, that Xavi renews his contract until 2025 and the agreement is closed. The coach's work has also been rewarded with a significant salary improvement, and I have seen some sources claiming that Xavi Hernandez is now going to be earning double what he used to earn at this club, which was like around 3 million, 4 million euros, but now he's going to be up there earning around 8 to 9 million euros. And in my opinion, again, it's fully deserved because of what he has done to this club, right? The squad is just so much different compared to what we saw under Ronald Koeman, and they have greatly improved and we have delivered results, right? With these group of players, they have won us La Liga for the first time since 2019, and we're going to continue to be competitive this season, do well in the Champions League, maybe win another La Liga in this season, and that is why I do think that it's fully deserved. I don't think that Xavi Hernandez is taking away any money away from the club, or he's not demanding more than he deserves. He truly does deserve this significant salary raise and this renewal especially. And with him renewing until 2025 is also going to gear us up to the summer of 2024. Xavi Hernandez does plan on bringing big time players. Joan Laporta also wants to bring in big time players, and so we're going to be seeing our transfer window in the summer of 2024 move in his image, in Xavi Hernandez's image. And he's also a huge fan of Kimmich, Pavard, De Ligt, Kylian Mbappe, Sané. He has a lot of players in mind that he would love to sign. It's just going to be up to the club whether they can financially afford these players. And so I do expect to see the next summer of 2024 to be the biggest summer that Barcelona have had in a very long time. And if he does complete the full contract extension until 2025, I think that it's going to put him in the top 2 longest coaches that have stayed at a club within the past 7 to 8 years, because Luis Enrique did stay from 2014 to 2017, which was a total of 3 years. I think that by the end of this season, Xavi Hernandez is going to tie him with a total of 3 years, or maybe even surpass him in time length. But he has definitely beaten Quique Setien, who has only been here for like a few months, Ronald Koeman, who was here for like a year and a half. He's also going to beat Ernesto Valverde, who stayed here at Barcelona for like 2.5 years or something like that. And I don't think that he'll beat Pep Guardiola yet by the end of this season, but by the time we do head towards 2025, I think that he will have reached Pep Guardiola's length in time at the club by a few months, because Xavi Hernandez did come in October 2021. So it's very interesting. And now let's move on towards the central defensive midfield position. Now this is where things get very strategic, right? Because we do have to think about who is going to be our substitution to Oriol Romeu if he were to ever get injured. Let's keep in mind that he's 32 years old and he's playing in every game. We have to be prepared for the worst case scenario. And like I've said in the beginning of this video, Xavi Hernandez is looking at Christensen to be the substitute of Oriol Romeu. Now you may say, but Kevin, what about Eric Garcia? So if you guys have not been keeping up to date with the Barcelona news, Eric Garcia is not at Barcelona. He is at Girona with Pablo Torre. And yes, Eric Garcia could have played in this position right next to Frankie de Jong, but because he's not with us, Eric Garcia is not one of our options. He is on loan. So again, Xavi sees this as a problem, and this is why I do say, like, why didn't Barcelona go all in for Fabrizio Diaz, who was costing like 9 million euros? That Uruguayan central defensive midfielder is amazing for his age, and he can play a lot of minutes. Like, he was only 9 million euros. It's not like we had to invest 40 million euros on this young prodigy. So I hope that Barcelona end up signing Fabrizio Diaz in January, because at the moment, Deco and the rest of the sporting staff are going to make decisions for what they're going to be doing in the January transfer window. And one of the topics that they are going to be talking about is bringing Fabrizio Diaz. So as of now, we still have to take care of our short-term problems and what we must do within these next 4 to 5 months. Again, going back to Christensen. Christensen is the solution. Christensen has played in this position with Denmark multiple times. He has played in this position also with Chelsea, maybe like about 1 to 2 times, but that's basically it. More consistently though with Denmark. So he's very much experienced. He knows how to recover the ball. He has great aerial duels in the middle of the pitch. He knows how to scan for spaces. And back in 2019, Christensen did say this: from center back to midfielder, there's only one line of distance, meaning that Christensen does not see it as a huge total commitment to go into the midfield, right? He does not see so much of a learning curve to learn how to play as a central defensive midfield. He thinks that it is the exact same thing, but the only difference is that with him becoming a midfielder, he can take much more gambles in his passing, and he can be more daring making those passes into the final third, because when you're a center back, you have to be more cautious with your passes. So it says here, according to Ferran Martinez, he also wanted to claim that Andreas Christensen is an option that Xavi and the coaches are considering as a pivot if they are to replace Oriol Romeu for some reason. That would keep Gundogan and Frankie de Jong in their current positions. Now, since we are talking about Gundogan, this is where I want to give like my perspective on this whole thing, right? Why doesn't Xavi just use Gundogan as a central defensive midfielder and form the double pivot with Frankie de Jong instead of using Christensen? Like, I understand why he would opt for Christensen. Like, I really do fully understand, and I know that he will work in that position, but I would really like to see Gundogan being paired with Frankie. I just think that there is much more football if you're to have that duo with Gundogan and Frankie de Jong. And he has played in that position before, and especially with Germany, very similar to Christensen. He has played sometimes in that position at Man City, but mostly in Germany, and he plays amazing football. The way that he protects the ball, organizes play, intercepts the ball also, he has the capability to be in those positions. And so I don't know what Xavi is looking at in terms of who he looks for to be paired with Frankie, but it seems like he's looking for a CDM that's very physical and tall, and is okay and solid in progressing the ball forward, because that is the consistency that I'm seeing between Oriol Romeu and Andreas Christensen. Both of them are tall, and they're both very physical. They know how to win the ball, and that's good, right? This is why I fully agree with having Christensen as one of the options, but still, why not place Gundogan in that position? Don't you think that it would change the face of Barcelona's game, and especially in the midfield? We'll have total control. He also has a lot of capability to act as a center back. Like, sometimes we do have our central defensive midfielders act as one of the center backs and sit between the two main center backs when we know that Barcelona is being pressured and being outnumbered when we have possession and we're trying to progress the ball forward. Gundogan has all the requirements to be placed in those positions. We have seen that with Frankie de Jong because he has great ball retention. He's very press resistant when the opposition is trying to press us. Again, Gundogan can do the exact same thing, and that also gives us a chance, my friends, to finally see a four-man midfield of Gundogan, Frankie, Pedri, and Xavi. With Pedri, I would say playing as a false left winger. That is exactly what I would love to see. Again, this is where I'm kind of like theorizing about what Xavi could do. I don't think that this is in Xavi's plans, but I do think that this could work. If you could have Gundogan, Frankie, double pivot with Pedri and Xavi as our interiors, Pedri being the false left winger, you can do so many things. Like, I was thinking about that match between Barcelona and Juventus back in 2020 when Pedri was acting as a false left winger. I think that in that game we played a 4-2-3-1 with Pedri as a left winger in that three-man midfield system, but Pedri can easily play in a 4-3-3 and act as a false left winger because he knows how to invert himself in those positions. Pedri has been dying to give out more, to be more effective in the final third. This would give Pedri the chance. Even Pedri gets annoyed knowing that he cannot provide more goals and more assists on the field. So all of this would start with by placing Gundogan in the CDM position with Frankie and having Xavi as a right central midfielder with Pedri on the left. But it just does not seem like it's going to be in Xavi's plans. Again, all of this that I'm saying is just me theorizing. I think that Xavi will continue with the idea of potentially placing Christensen as Oriol Romeu's substitute. And again, I think that it could work very well. I fully trust what Xavi has in mind. I'm not the coach of Barcelona, but that is just one of my ideas. So that is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.